In this video we're going to look at working with charts. Charts is a very specialized part of Excel, so in this video we'll just show you a short introduction and show you a few handy tips. To insert a chart, I've got some weekly weather data here. All you need to do is select the data. In the insert menu you can click, for instance, here on the charts. Let's say we'll create a bar chart graph. You click on that, select your graph. At the bottom you will see a preview of what your chart would look like. If that's the one you want, you just click it and it will create it in here. Charts are one of those areas where the older versions of Excel differ slightly from Office 365. If you click inside or on a chart, so your border is selected, you'll see there's two menus that appear now. So without the menu you'll see there's two missing, and now you will have a chart design tab and a format tab. In the older versions of Excel you still have a design tab, a layout tab and a format tab, and you'll see now that the information is still all there, but it is just slightly condensed in Office 365. If you click on chart design, you'll see here on the left it says chart layouts. So this was a separate menu in the previous versions of Excel. Other than that, it is pretty much the same as before. So here we have our chart. In also the older versions of Excel, whenever you created Excel, it would always ask you where do you want to place the chart. So now by default, like you saw, it automatically puts it in the same worksheet we are currently working on. But if you in the design tab, on the far right hand side there's a button that says move chart. You can either move it to another sheet if you have multiple sheets, or you can create your own sheet for the chart by itself. So I click OK. Now this chart will move out of that sheet and becomes its own full worksheet. To move it back, you simply click on the chart, again click on design, you click on move the chart, and you can move it back to say sheet 1, and here it is, and here you can move it or resize it if you want to. Something to be careful with if you're working with charts on a worksheet like this is you need to select the border if you need to change the whole chart, move it or resize it. Be careful if you quickly, sometimes what happens, you click say on the bar there. Now I've selected one series, and now without noticing it I start moving this, and you will see that parts of this inside of the chart start moving instead of the actual whole thing, and then you can put the whole chart out of alignment by misclicking. In this case I can get Ctrl Z, but if you have a chart you spend a lot of time on, it might take a while to get it right. So make sure if you want to move or resize it, you actually only select the outer border, and then you can resize or move the chart if you need to. A very handy tip for Excel, if you want to create a full sheet separately with chart data, all you need to do is select the data and then on your keyboard press F11, and that will automatically create a bar chart. Whether the chart is separate like this or in the chart, if you click on the design you can always change the type by clicking here, and now I can change this to a line graph or whatever other one I want to come up with. Let's just pick one, let's say area. So you can select just by clicking on change type. If this chart was in the worksheet like this, it will still work the same. You can just click change the type and make it a line again, and that is a quick way. Also a proper or a common misconception is that you have to select the data completely like that. What I can do is say I select Monday to Wednesday, holding the control key, and only select Sunday. So now there's 3 days in between that's not selected. With just this data selected, you can say click the bar chart, and you'll see now you only got Monday, Wednesday and Sunday. That is because when I created the charts I had that data selected. What you can do is also very handy, this chart title here, if you have any item you can either delete it, or while the chart title is selected you go into the formula bar, type in equal and select a cell. So this cell B2 is called the word weekly weather. If I press enter now you'll see the heading of the chart is equal to that cell. If I now type in here, press enter, you will see that the chart heading also updates. So you can use a formula in here into a cell and that will change the data for you. If you want to edit any part of the graph or the chart, you click, for instance, say I want to change this axis here. With it selected, you click on the format. So here on the side you can see what's selected. You can either select it, so if I click on that series, you'll see that words in there will change, or if you know what you're looking for, you can select one of the items here. So for instance, we want to look at the legend, which is at the bottom, and we can change that item. Whatever you have selected, if you click here on format selection, on the right hand side you will see some things you can change about that selection, and this will change according to what is selected. So the legend currently is the bottom. If I want it on the right hand side, I just click here and it will move to the right or to the top right, or just put it back at the bottom. So you can change certain things. Some things that's more useful to change is something like the access here. If I click on access, because the format's open, I don't have to select format selection again. But if, for instance, if I say the minimum mustn't be -10, the minimum must only be, say, -5, and the maximum must only be 20, and you'll see the graph fits better into the space available. So this is a lot of things you can change by selecting an item there. You can change it over here. If you select any item, so this is a series, if you press Control and 1, the number 1, the formatting will always open for that item as well. So that's a shortcut key to get formatting of any part of the chart. This is a very short introduction into graphs. Graphs is a very specialized field, and you can actually spend a lot of time on charts and change a lot, but this is just a short introduction and some handy tips for charts. Hi, this is Anton from the Data Developer channel. If you've liked this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up below and subscribing to the channel. And thank you for watching.